We're now in our production facility at the beginning of the line where we build our floors. You can see some of the materials that we use. We use microlambs in areas where we need a large span. We may have a large opening for a two-story area. So whatever our customers' needs are and their style of their home, we're able to meet their accommodations. You can also see on our other jig over here where we're sanding the floor prior to vinyl going down. That's probably a kitchen area. You can see the worker making sure that the floor is nice and smooth with no objects underneath of the vinyl. As you look to your right, you can also see another floor being built with an option of plywood. We offer many customizations here which allow our customers to use different material, i.e. plywood for floors or OSB. The process that we're using here is a component saw which cuts our floor joist to the exact length needed for each specific plan. By having this machine, it's a lot safer than running a saw by hand. Also, as we come across, it will automatically stack the material, which then is picked up by a forklift truck and taken to the line in a timely fashion. We're now upstairs in our mezzanine area where all of our walls, interior and exterior walls, are produced. You can see the process right now of moving the interior walls into place onto the floor below that was completed in the previous operation that we saw. This allows us to pre-build the walls ahead of the floor being brought into place and greatly enhances our production capabilities. What you see here is our wall jig. We're able to build walls up to a 64-foot length. We're able to square them in place, then install the drywall and put any blocking or electrical receptacle outlet blocking in place. If you look to your right, you'll actually see all the blocking in the wall. That's installed to receive cabinetry and or medicine cabinets, so we have a good solid base to install any of our cabinets. The process that's going on is very similar to what we saw at the ceiling jig, where our employee is spraying a foam product which adheres the drywall to the studs. This gives us a very rigid wall and helps in our transportation process of getting our units to the job site. Through our process, we use jigs and fixtures. These are already plumbed and squared, which allows the associates to assemble walls in the manner that they're designed. All of our wall sections and homes have a pre-drawn plan. So the wall builders are working off of a set of drawings that's exactly what the customer has ordered and which meets their customization requirements. One of our unique processes that we do here, as you can see here, these are 5-inch lag screws that we use. All intersecting walls, exterior to interior and exterior to exterior walls, are put together with a 5-inch lag screw. This ensures that our structure is together. We build the walls in a jig that are square. We then can install them and ensure that we keep the walls in a square fashion. This also helps us with our transportation. The process that's being done right now is installing the exterior OSB sheathing. Prior to installing it, we glue the studs and install the sheathing. This helps us get a very rigid module, so for in transportation we don't have any shifting or cracking. We've built the walls in a jig square. We want them to remain that way through the process of putting them on the foundation. Okay, we're now in the ceiling jig area. The process that you see being completed now is the application of an adhesive which attaches the drywall to the ceiling joist. This is actually a ceiling of a first floor of a 2-story home. By building this ceiling in a jig that's mechanically squared, we're able to complete this in a very square manner. By using this type of application of adhesive, we do not use any nails or screws to apply the drywall to the wood members. With this material, we're able to have a perfectly flat ceiling with no nails or screws or the opportunity to have nail pops or screw pops. In our process, we have to build a roof section that is actually hinged so it can be folded down for transportation. We don't have the capacity of shipping a full height roof on a highway. So what you're seeing right now is a roof section that's lifted up. It allows the electricians to go in and do any wiring that needs to be done in the ceiling area or any of the plumbing and venting that needs to be done. So we actually have the capability of opening it in our facility, checking it to make sure it fits, then lifting it back up and lowering it down. What you're seeing here is actually an exterior, the end wall of the unit being moved into place. Through our process, there's several simultaneous operations that will be happening. Walls being set, interior and exterior, ceilings being set, and also then the mechanical trades which come in and start doing the electrical and plumbing. What you're seeing here now is the roof section. Actually, it's a hip roof. If you look at the far end, you can see the angle of the hip. The electricians and plumbers are in the process of completing the mechanical in the attic area. As we move down, you can see high hats that were specific to the customer's needs. Any back venting or plumbing will be done in place so it can be completed on site. And as we move down, you'll see the shingling operation where we're able to shingle a large majority of the roof section so that on site the house is virtually waterproof when it arrives. Once the units are set and the roof is opened up, minimal amount of shingling has to be installed on site. The advantage that we have here also is that our employees aren't on a very steep roof working, and ergonomically that is a good thing. What we're seeing here is actually a soffit section. For shipping purposes, we cannot have this down, so we have to flip it up to allow it to travel down the road at the width that we've permitted for. Also, what you're seeing is venting, which allows the roof cavity to have proper venting, which helps with energy cost. We offer several varieties of thicknesses of insulation, depends on energy codes for the different states that we build to. Currently, we're building in about 18 different states, and each state has its own energy code. Typically, we run into R30, R38. We can even go higher in our northern states. What we're going to do is enter our shop here where we build overhangs. What you see here is the construction of an overhang for a flip, which is the soffit and the extension of the roof area. What we're seeing here is actually the construction of a gable end section of a roof panel. It'll be the area that fits underneath your roof of the gable end of the house. We build these, we then ship them loose, and they're installed on site.